What happens when a young writer watches a tough cop on the big screen and decides the best way to honor the genre is to turn every rule upside down? Out of raw instinct, sharp humor, and a deep love for action cinema, a new idea formed, one built on wild confidence and fearless parody. So how did this strange concept survive network demands, censorship battles, shifting time slots, and the constant threat of cancellation to become a cult favorite? Let's find out. This is the history of Sledgehammer.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The story of Sledgehammer began long before cameras rolled or networks weighed in. It started with a young boy who watched the Dirty Harry movie and didn't just enjoy the tough cop attitude, but noticed something funny in its serious delivery that sparked a different kind of idea. That boy's name was Alan Spencer. He imagined a cop who treated a .44 Magnum like a trusted friend and took every exaggerated screen trope to a place where it became both absurd and strangely sincere. He wrote an entire screenplay built on that vision, giving both the script and the character the same name, Sledgehammer. When he turned 14 or 15, he started working in a TV writing program, got an agent, and was able to pass the script around. When HBO began looking for a funny police series, producer Leonard Stern, who had already read the script, pointed them towards Spencer's idea. That timing helped. Dirty Harry remained popular, and NBC's Hunter had sparked fresh interest in tough cop television. That opened the door for something that could poke fun at the genre from inside. HBO liked the idea, but their vision for the lead conflicted with Spencer's. They wanted famous comedians. Spencer wanted someone who could play the character with complete conviction and let comedy come from behavior, not performance, so the project was put on hold. When the head of ABC, Stu Blumberg, read the script, he told Spencer if he could get the script away from HBO, they would develop it over at ABC, so Alan did just that. ABC accepted the unusual tone but pushed for changes to meet their standards. They wanted the violence reduced, and after a disastrous test screening, they wanted to add a laughing track. Even with those conditions, they allowed Spencer to choose the leads, and that gave him the freedom he needed to shape the show into something different. As the project shifted from screenplay to television format, Spencer rewrote the material into half-hour episodes. The premise remained simple but sharp. A San Francisco detective who believed in shooting first and never asking questions, a man who spoke to his gun, treated it like a friend, and moved through police work with complete confidence even when his actions created chaos. The humor came from the huge gap between how Hammer saw himself and how the world reacted to him, a structure that let the show function as both parody and character comedy at the same time. By the time the pilot was completed, the foundation of the series was set. The tone, the absurdity, the satire, and the commitment to treating the wildest behavior with a straight face had all carried over from Spencer's original idea.
He's bringing justice to a naughty world.
Casting set the shape of Sledgehammer, beginning with the decision to put David Rasche in the lead role. Spencer chose him because he was not known as a comedian and had read great reviews on one of his plays. Anne-Marie Martin played Detective Dory Duro. Spencer said Anne-Marie was his first choice for the role and called her a wonderful actress with authority, strength and appeal. Harrison Page, which most Van Damme fans would know him from Lionheart, was cast as Captain Trunk, the supervisor who dealt with Hammer. When Page came in for his audition, he began screaming his lines so loud that people came in from other offices because they thought something terrible was happening. Spencer was looking for someone to be able to stand up to Hammer, and it was clear after that audition that Harrison was perfect for the role. The supporting cast included Leslie Morris, who appeared as Officer Majoy, Patty Tipo, who played Officer Daly, and Kurt Paul, who appeared as Coroner Norman Bates, a character who is obviously written as an homage to Norman Bates. The series also featured an extensive list of guest stars that included Bill Bixby, Lance LeGault, John Vernon, and many more. The show's theme was composed by Danny Elfman. His music gave the series its tone, carrying the viewer into the mindset of a character who treated his weapon with near-romantic devotion. The intro ended with Hammer picking up the gun, spinning it, and delivering the line, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing," before firing at the screen. The earliest versions had him firing directly at the viewer, but executives changed it because they were concerned the shot could be too intense for audiences, so they adjusted the angle, though the intention remained the same. Music also shaped the promotional side of the series. When the pilot was completed, Peter Gabriel's song Sledgehammer became a major hit. The studio used this coincidence in advertising, placing the song in television, radio, and film spots to draw attention to the series.
We got vermin on the roof, but I got an idea.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody.
When Sledgehammer arrived on ABC, it earned critical acclaim and drew high ratings during its special debut time slot. The early reaction suggested that audiences were interested, but after that point, the show struggled because ABC continued to move the schedule. The frequent changes made it harder for viewers to follow. During that same season, ABC launched Life with Lucy, a comeback project for Lucille Ball. The series performed poorly and was cancelled after 8 episodes. Sledgehammer was then moved into that time slot. However, it attracted a younger fan base. Spencer noted, while critics praised it, its demo was mainly teenagers, which he found a little embarrassing at the time. But Spencer believed the show would be cancelled after the end of season 1, so he figured the last episode of that season should go out with a bang. So he decided to make Hammer blow up the entire city with an atomic bomb. To his surprise, ABC renewed the series for a second season, which was written as a prequel to season 1. It didn't really make sense because Hammer wouldn't have known Dory, but according to Spencer, he didn't really care. Behind the camera, there were a couple of issues that arose. When the episode involving Elvis impersonators aired, Colonel Tom Parker contacted the production to complain how Elvis was portrayed. Another incident came when Spencer received a bullet engraved with his name on it from a fan, which led to an investigation before it was confirmed to be a misguided attempt at praise. David Rasche also pushed back on one idea for a promo commercial. The plan was to show Hammer in his bedroom surrounded by weapons, but Rasche refused because he felt it went too far and misrepresented the character, so the idea was dropped. Also, several lines had to be changed during production. In one scene, a psychiatrist originally called Hammer's gun his penis, but the word was not allowed, so it was replaced with manhood. Another line involving a terrorist negotiation was questioned because it referenced current events too closely. Despite these issues, Spencer continued to push back, adjusting lines without losing the meaning. The second season began with problems built into the show's schedule. ABC placed the show in what the team described as a really bad time slot, directly opposite The Cosby Show. The show's ratings slipped and the situation did not improve as the season continued. The writing also leaned a bit more on Hammer's relationship with Dory, as the network encouraged a love-hate dynamic similar to Moonlighting. Money became another issue as well. The reduced budget changed how the show was produced. That change affected the show's visual quality and contributed to the feeling that the second season did not have the same resources as the first. While the second season was drawing to a close, ABC chose not to renew the show for a third year. So Spencer decided to end the series with Sledge in a state of emotional weakness. This was exactly the opposite to the end of the first season, which ended with a big bang. The series was released on DVD by Anchor Bay Entertainment. The laugh track, which the network had insisted on included on the pilot and the first 12 episodes, is actually removed on the DVDs. The DVDs featured a documentary with interviews from the cast, and it also included an unaired version of the pilot running several minutes longer with a different ending and different theme music. The second season was also released on DVD. Image Entertainment acquired the rights to the series. They released a complete series set, but it didn't include any extras that were included in the previous DVD releases. The show also received attention during its run, including a nomination for a People's Choice Award in the category of Favorite New TV Comedy. Marvel Comics also released a short comic book series as a promotion for the second season. The series ran for 2 issues. One issue showed Sledge facing a Spider-Man imposter, and the cover included a disclaimer hinting that he was a mutant at the time when the X-Men titles were at the height of their popularity. The series survived long enough to make its mark because of its unusual tone, its commitment to its own style, and a creator who pushed through constant limitations. The show faced time slot changes, budget problems, and pressure from the network, yet it still managed to stand out. Next time, we look at another cult series built on style, atmosphere, and a very different kind of nightlife. Until then, make sure to check out our previous deep dive on Hill Street Blues.
I'm Rodney in progress. See Surplus Store, corner People's Drive, 124th Street.
Thanks for watching, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.